Welcome to this balancing chakra yoga sequence. It is believed that through prescribed bodily movements, one can attain complete energy balance with these chakras. In the given chakra flow yoga sequence, the focus is on awakening these various chakras in your body, working from the root up to the crown. The deep stretch with each yoga pose helps to create openings in the spinal cord, clearing blockages for an easy flow of oxygen. So when you are ready, let's come into hero pose, sitting back on our heels, and let's begin. So as I said, let's sit back on the heels, lengthening through the spine, so get nice and comfortable, sitting back in hero pose. Shutting down your eyes and just taking a moment to find yourself. Find where you are. Bring your awareness to where you are. Then take an inhale with your left hand and exhale to stretch over to the right, placing your right fingertips down to the ground. Breathing into the left ribs. Slowly come back to center. Inhale your right arm up and exhale over to the left. Try to look under your arms so it's not pulling too forward. And breathe. Okay, coming back to center. Just lift up the shoulders, roll them back, and then open up your chest with an inhale. Reach on your arms, open nice and wide, and exhale, rounding into the spine. So really open up your chest, pull your shoulders back, and then round, drawing your navel to your spine, reaching your arms forward. Now interlace your hands behind your back, draw the shoulders away from you, pull those arms down with an inhale. Again, opening up the chest, and as you exhale, lower your head down to the ground. Keep your own arms up for a few more breaths, or if that's uncomfortable for you, you can just lower them down to the ground as we all come down into child's pose. Holding here, connecting to your breathing, connecting to the earth beneath you. Holding here for 3 more breaths. Now on your last breath, as you exhale, slowly rise up. Tuck your back toes, lift your knees, opening up your legs wide. Just walk your feet out slightly as we come into Garland Pose, Halasana. Lifting up the spine, drawing your hands to your heart. Pushing your thighs outwards to awaken those root chakras. 3 breaths here. Now lower your hands to the ground and walk your feet together. And in a flow of movement, rise up into Utkatasana chair pose. Taking a few breaths while using your gluteus maximus muscles to hold in the balance while the root chakra is awakened. So reaching with your fingertips, sitting back on your heels. Holding here for another 3 breaths. So really lengthen through that spine. Drawing your navel in. And then slowly releasing the feet back out as you lower back down to Halasana. This will really help to open and activate those root chakras. Holding here for another 6 breaths. So shut down those eyes and really enjoy this stretch. Pressing those palms to your heart. Pulling those thighs back. Lifting up your crown of your head. and breathing. Lower the hands back down, and if you can, just see if you can wrap those arms around your legs. Don't worry if you can't. So you're moving from Halasana to Baddha Halasana Vinyasa, bound Garland Pose. If you manage to do this, just let the head hang heavy, rounding through the spine, and remaining using the root chakra muscles to help you go down. Hold and breathe. And slowly release the hands, coming back to Child's Pose for 3 more breaths. Now let's take a flow here. So moving, using all the free postures we just did. Slowly rise up and open the legs, coming into Halasana, palms together. Using your core to rise up into chair pose. Feet together, just holding here for a breath. Reaching through the arms, and open the legs wide, palms back together as you lower back down into Halasana. Wrapping those arms around, coming to Baddha Halasana Vinyasa. 6 more breaths. Take 1 more inhale here and slowly rise up and make your way to the center of the mat. From there, I'd like you to open your legs as much as you can. Flex into your feet, lengthen through your spine. Inhale, reach your arms high, and exhale, fold, coming onto the elbows, onto a block, or all the way down to the ground. Do what feels good for you, just hold and breathe. You're taking your last breath, slowly rise up and bring the feet together in butterfly pose, placing your hands under the legs and joining the hands around the feet. This is our Tortoise Pose, so inhale and exhale, lower forward and down the best you can. Rounding through the spine and just letting your head hang heavy. Okay, let's come out of that position. Let's grab hold of the feet the best you can. Take an inhale and exhale to open up the legs, keeping those feet nice and flexed in our upward seated straddle pose. Remain focusing on your root chakra, focusing on your balance. And if you struggle with this position, you can come all the way down to the ground and do the same position laying on your back. We will be coming down and doing that also. So choose what's best for you. And if you are seated, slowly lower the legs and come to the center of the mat if you need to, and slowly make your way down to the ground. Again, holding onto the toes, inhale, and exhale to extend the legs out, keeping the feet flexed in a reclining straddle pose. Shutting down your eyes, flexing the feet and just stretching as much as you can with every exhale. Now release your hands and place them to the ground or around your hamstrings. Rolling up, place your hands and arms forward, knees bent, toes extend, coming into boat pose, Shavasana, connecting to your core and bringing that focus to the solar plexus chakra. Also focusing on your balance. Hold, breathe, stay strong in Shavasana. And then slowly lower the legs and make your way into all fours. So making sure that your knees are in line with your hips and your wrists in line with your shoulders. Step your right leg back and then your left, holding in a plank pose for one breath. Then bend the knees, lower the chest down, inhale baby cobra. Lower the chest, press into the hands back into plank pose. Exhale down dog. Hold here for a breath. Then round through the spine once again into plank. Lower the chest. Inhale baby cobra. Lower the chest, press into the hands, push up plank pose. Exhale down dog. Staying here in down dog for a few breaths. So rooting those feet into the ground if you can, and your hands also, really stretching out those hamstrings. And then lower the legs and let's make our way into a seated position. Lengthen through the spine, join the legs together, flex the feet. Inhale to reach your arms high. And exhale, draw the arms in front of you and then start to hinge forward until you can't go anymore. And then lower the hands down. Staying here, there you have a nice straight spine. But if you'd like to go all the way down, take a breath in and lower the head to the knees in a full seated forward fold. But remember, don't push yourself. Just go as far as your body is telling you to. It's all about the hamstring stretch, not about how far you can go. Slowly awakening your solar plexus chakras here. Take your last inhale and exhale to rise up. From here, I'd like you to keep your legs engaged, feet are flexed. Take a breath in and exhale, twist to the left and lower the elbows down. Now keep both sit bones grounded. Hold here for 2 breaths. Nice gentle twist. And slowly come back to center. Lengthen up the spine. And let's do that on the other side. So lengthen up with the inhale. Exhale, twist to the right, lowering the elbows to the ground. Again, keeping both sit bones grounded. Now slowly rise back up, keeping your legs engaged, feet are flexed, pressing into the hands into Dandasana. And taking this twist further, let's come into a revolved half-bound Lotus Pose. So placing the right toes over the left thigh, reach for the left toes if you can. Don't worry if you can't, just let that left hand slide down the leg as far as it'll go. Wrapping your right arm around your back, pulling your right shoulder back, twisting to the right and opening up the chest. Placing your gaze to the right also. Hold and breathe. Let's repeat that on the other side. So coming back to center, this time placing that left foot onto the right thigh. Again, sliding your right hand down your leg, touching the toes, the ankle, the shin, and the left hand will wrap around your back. Pulling your shoulder back, opening up the chest to the left side. Now placing your gaze forward or just slightly to the left. Twisting from your belly, lengthening through your spine. And remembering to breathe. Okay, let's come out of this position. And from here, I'd like you to draw your knees to the left and your feet to the right. If you can reach around with your right hand and place it underneath your left knee, do so. But don't worry if you can't, just place it on top of the right. Your left arm will wrap around you, opening up your chest, so pull your shoulder back. And softly let your gaze come to your right shoulder. Lengthening through the spine, breathing, connecting to your core. Slowly release, and let's do that on the other side. So the feet come over to the left, dropping your knees to the right. Placing your left hand onto your right knee, or your left knee, depending how far you can reach. Wrapping that right arm around you, opening up the shoulder, so really pull it back. And softly placing your gaze to your left shoulder. Don't force that gaze. Just do what your neck is allowing you to do. Enjoy this torso stretch. And slowly release out of this position. And let's come into the center of the mat. Now we're going to prepare for crow pose. So make sure that you root down into your hands, pressing firmly into the palms of the hands. Your hands are your foundation and the strength in this position. So open your legs, then come high onto your toes and wrap those knees around your triceps, under the elbows or around the triceps, rocking forward and back, maybe lifting one leg at a time just to see if you can get your balance. And when you're ready, maybe you want to lift both legs, just for a breath. Just a quick exercise there, just to strengthen the wrists, rooting into the hands. Okay, let's step back into plank pose. Holding here, pushing the ground away, drawing your navel in. Now bring your right knee to your chest and then draw it over the left hip. Twisting your body as you do and opening up the chest, reaching your right arm over your head. Into our wild thing pose. Focusing on moving towards the upper body, the heart chakra. So really push up those hips, open up your heart. Then come back to plank pose and we'll do that on the other side. Holding in plank for one breath. Then drawing that left knee to the chest and then over to the right side. So you're placing over your right hip, resting on the toes of the left foot, or planting the foot down if you can, extending that left arm over your head, opening your chest, your heart chakra. Okay, coming back to plank pose. Drop the knees and let's take a few breaths here in child's pose. Using this time to connect back with your breath and connect with the earth. So important. Now slowly rise up. And as you do, I'd like you to step your left leg forward. Left hand rests on the left knee. Place your right hand behind you, grabbing hold of your right ankle, or if you struggle with that, rest it onto your right hip. Slowly reach back, opening up your chest and your heart, letting your head reach back also. Again, opening up that heart chakra. Inhale and exhale. Okay, let's repeat on the other side. So right leg forward, left leg back. Keep the back foot on the flat of the foot, not on the toes. Right hand onto right knee, left arm behind, reaching back for that ankle or onto the hips. Take a breath in and exhale, pushing the hips forward, chest back, head back. Breathe. Slowly lengthen up the spine, and this time I'd like you to place the back foot on its toes. Holding onto the ankle with your left hand, reach your right hand up and over, opening up your heart chakra. Breathing into that heart chakra, letting your head reach back too, and your hips drop forward. Slowly release. Let's do that on the other side. Left leg forward, right leg back, coming onto the toes on that back leg. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, reach it over. Grabbing hold of your right ankle with your right hand. Let that chest reach open a little bit more this time with every exhale. Opening up your heart chakra, breathing in and out. Take one more inhale here, and then lower down. Let's make our way to the center of the mat. And let's prepare for upward plank pose. So placing the palms of the hands flat to the ground. Palms are facing towards your hips, feet are rooted into the ground for now, and then extend your legs out, point your toes. Press into the hands with an inhale and exhale to lift up the hips. Again, opening up your heart chakra, letting that head drop back. Engaging the legs, lengthening through the legs, pointing through the toes. Such a strong pose here. Take one more breath and then slowly lower down back into Dandasana. Just for a few breaths, so feet are engaged, legs are engaged, feet are flexed. Lengthen through the spine, press the hands into the ground to really help you lengthen up. Hold for a few breaths. Then slowly with control, let's lower down into Shavasana, our resting pose. So bend into the knees. Scoop yourself forward and make your way down to the ground the best you can. Nice and slow. Lengthen through the body. Let the palms reach up to the sky for some energy. Feet flop out. Drop the chin softly to the chest just to lengthen through the back of the neck. Shut down the eyes. Just enjoy this resting pose for 6 breaths. To move forward with the awakening and opening of the chakras, the next is the throat chakra. So in a flow, I'd like you to come into fish pose. So placing the hands, palms facing down under the hips. Bend into the elbows. Slowly lift the chest, gently tilting the head back. Use the thorax area to stretch deep for that awakening of the throat chakra. Engage the legs, flex your feet. Really push the chest open, opening up that heart chakra, that throat chakra. And slowly with control, I'd like you to lower your head down, nice and slow, and then your back. Bend into the knees and scoop yourself to the center of the mat. Drawing your knees to your chest, press into your hands. Inhale, and as you exhale, I'd like you to bring those legs over your head in Plow Pose, Halasana. Using your hands to help keep your hips high if needed, or releasing them down to the ground. Don't worry if your feet can't touch the ground. Just really lengthen up those legs as much as you can, keeping them engaged, feet flexed. Making sure you have that space between the chin and the chest. And then bring the legs forward. Open them up, flex the feet. Holding here for a few breaths. Inhale and exhale the legs back together. And releasing back over your head, back into Plow Pose. Take one more breath, release your hands, and then with the control make your way back down to the ground, using your core muscles to release the legs nice and slow. And let's come back into Shavasana for 6 more breaths. Palms up to the sky, feet flopping out, hips sinking into the ground, your lower back, your shoulders, your head, your feet. Letting your eyes roll back as you close them down. Breathe. Okay, open your eyes and let's rock to the left side in a fetal position and make our way to the center of the mat. Preparing for a tripod headstand, so use a towel for your head if needed. Place it to the center of the mat and rest the palms of your hands either side of that towel. Lower your head down onto the crown of your head. Straighten the legs coming onto the toes and walk your feet in slightly. Bring your right knee to your chest and then your left, and use your core to lift yourself, holding your knees tightly to the chest, putting all your weight into your arms and your shoulders and not in your head, lengthening through the spine. And if you can, use your core muscles to slowly help lift the legs high, or just stay with your knees to your chest. The awakening of the third eye chakra and the crown chakra happens almost together. Here, while focusing on the part between the eyebrows, the third eye, and balancing on the crown, the gradual opening and activating is happening. A great pose that brings all the chakras in line when the headstand is done in the right way. Balancing with the core, diaphragm, pelvis muscles and head. Slowly with control, bring your knees back to your chest and make your way down to the ground, resting here in child's pose, bringing your arms forward or down beside you. Always rest in child's pose after doing anything like headstands. Now slowly make your way up to seated, and let's come to the center of the mat and finish off with some breathing exercises. So crossing the legs in Sukhasana. Lengthen up through the spine, sitting nice and tall. Place your right hand onto your chest and your left hand onto your belly. Inhale in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath for 1. Exhale out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Drawing back on your lower belly as you do. Inhale in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your breath for 1. Exhale out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now release the hands and place them to rest on top of each other. Coming back to your normal breathing here. Shutting down your eyes. Just taking a moment here to be grateful. Think about why you're grateful, the things you have to be grateful for, the things that bring you happiness. They're so important. Nothing else matters. Bring your hands to your heart and then to your third eye chakra and take a bow. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like or leave a comment. Namaste.